So is Ronin underrated? Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back with the next installment of Are They Underrated? And this time we're going to be taking a look at buffed Ronin. Now, a few months ago, I posted a really funny meme, funniest meme ever posted on the internet ever. That was like every skill champion looking to their left or to their right, and it was like the three dragons face, and it was like the serious dragon looking at the one goofy dragon who was Daredevil Netflix or Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen, and it was every skill champ who got buffed in 2021 because they were all pretty decent, and I included Ronin in there, and the comment section were flooded with Ronin. Really? Ronin? Are you crazy? And I don't know, man, I feel like this guy is getting a worse rep than he actually deserves, because I feel like even before the buff, Ronin was pretty decent, and after the buff, he is just as decent, if not more decent, right? So right away, I'm going to say I do not think that Ronin is like a top skill champion. I don't think he's the best champion in the game. I know there are a lot of very committed Ronin players out there, a lot of very big Ronin fans. I'm personally not one of them, but I do think that he's pretty good, especially if you put some time in to practice him and learn his animations and then his rotations and all of his stances and everything else. He has definitely some utility, no doubt about it. His sig ability is nice, but it's definitely not needed for the majority of this video. We're going to be playing without the sig ability. But yeah, basically the way this guy works is that you do kind of want to intercept with him because you get a nice bonus. As you can see, intercepting attacks has plus 1433 critical rating, which is really nice. All right. And he has these three stances, and the way that you have these stances essentially is you activate them with your light attacks. So if you do like medium light dash back, that's one of your stances. Medium light dash back, that's one of your stances. Medium light dash back, that's one of your stances. Okay, and you have three different stances. You have guard stance, wraith stance, and demon stance, and they all give you different utility. Guard stance, for example, gives you some nice perfect block chance. It also allows you to purify one debuff, which makes him very suicide friendly. It also allows you to parry non-contact attacks, which is really nice, like Iron Man Infinity War and whatnot. Not that I would use him against Iron Man Infinity War, but that's just the first thing that comes to my mind. Wraith stance, all attacks reduce defensive ability accuracy by 40%. If you combine that with the Disorient on the special one, disorients the opponent, reducing defensive ability accuracy by 60%. That's 100% defensive ability accuracy reduction, which is really, really good, right? It's not always easy to keep that up, but if you can chain special 1 and 3 hit combos, I'll show you in this video how we do it, alright? It's pretty decent. And then we have the demon stance, all bleeds, gain plus 75% ability accuracy, can be inflicted on blocked hits, and that's pretty decent as well, because normally it's just, I believe, a 15% chance, so that's going to be a, what was that, 90, 75, and 15, 90% chance. So the way this guy works essentially is you want to switch your stances, and what I like to do is get to a special 3, which is when you get to your 7 cruelties, because you gain a cruelty every time you switch stances, and then build back up to a special 2 and launch a monster special 2. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at it today, and I'll show it to you. So this is a rank 3 unduped Ronin. We're running, I think, either 3 or 4 in deep wounds, so not even maxed out deep wounds. And you'll notice right away I do parry, light, dash back, and I go right in. So I purify the poison debuff from the suicide masteries, and then I get another stance. Now at this point, when I'm at about 4 stances, I don't want to keep building them until I get to about 2 bars of power. 5 is like pretty much my limit, so I'll be doing like 5 hit combos from here on out until I get to my 2 bars of power, or I'll do 4 hit combos and dash back. And the reason being is I don't want to build to 7 cruelties before I'm ready to go for the special 3. So I got the 6 now, right? And you got to always be aware of your combo and what stance you're in. That way you can really manage these cruelties. So like I said, he's a pretty high skill champion to play because you really have to be aware of all these things. So here I'm going to be going for a special 3 now at 7 cruelties, okay? Keep in mind, by the way, really important, I'm still at 100% health. All right, just keep that in mind. That's just something that I want you to just see here, okay? So here comes the special 3. Now we got a massive Fury. The Fury is based on the amount of cruelties we had. So I'm like choking on something here. Give me 1 second. All right, crisis averted. But yeah, basically the Furies that you get is based, you get 900 Fury on base and an additional, I believe, 900 based on every cruelty that you have. So that's a pretty decent Fury when you have your 7 cruelties, right? So at this point, I want to build up my cruelties again to 7, and I want to get up to a special 2. But as you can see, look at Winter Soldier's health. He's kind of draining at this point, right? So that Fury is putting in an absolute ton of work, and now we're going to go for a special 2 in our stance, our demon stance, to have a higher accuracy of the bleeds, but he's just dead. And we finish at 99% health, running the Suicide Masteries, special 3, special 2, and he was dead in 71 hits and about 90 seconds, which is really good damage from this guy if you know how to play him properly. So he definitely has a lot of potential when it comes to damage output, in both damage per second and damage per hit. So, like I said, he has really high damage output potential. He has some decent synergies as well, and we can take a look at what we're running right here. This is a pretty decent team. Most of these champions are good, except for Moon Knight. Moon Knight is awful, but the other 4 are really good. Basically, this one right here with Captain Marvel, the duration of bleed debuffs is increased by 3% for each active cruelty, which is, you know, really good, especially when you have 7. That's 21%. Over here with Moon Knight, a decent synergy. You basically get a 15% Fury when you switch your stance. It doesn't stack, so it's decent. You definitely don't need it though. White Mags I brought along for the pre-fight, right? Also, you get plus 8% attack rating, and this is the good one. I like this one a lot. Increase the duration of bleed disorients by 10%, and you gain an additional 30% if Black Widow is dead. I didn't kill off Black Widow for either of any of the fights that she was present in, but it's definitely a very nice bonus, plus 40% duration, right? So yeah. Like I said, he has really nice damage output, and one thing you're going to be seeing here and in other fights is that Ronin really benefits very highly from an aggressive AI. So Winter Soldier is a really crappy AI, we know that, right? Like, he's really just defensive and passive, and he makes things really difficult, especially for champs where you want to intercept with, right? Because when you intercept, you almost get a guaranteed crit, which is really, really great, because that's going to put a bleed on the opponent. You have a 100% chance to bleed the opponent if you crit, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm pretty much going to be doing the same exact strategy in this fight. I'm going to be building up to a special 3 right when I get to my 7 cruelties, okay? That way, when I get my precision, right when I get it. So I have my precision while I'm building up my 7 cruelties again on my way to the special 2 while I have the Fury active, okay? So again, right here, boom, there's the 7. Very nice. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go like that, going to go for the special 3 so I can go right in. Now, one thing I did was I noted what stance am I in before the special 3. I'm in the first light attack stance. So what I have to do here is go light, dash back, okay? So right away, light, or 3 lights, right? Light, dash back. But I want to build up to the special 2 as fast as I can. That's really important. Now, as you can see, even before we get to the special 2, we are immediately doing some really nice damage. 16k mediums. It's not bad damage at all, man. It's really not. It's really good stuff. So now at this point, right, I have my 7 cruelties, and we're going to go for a nice, enormous special 2. Okay? And now the bleeds are really ticking. There's some really strong bleeds there. And Red Hulk, after 1 special 2 rotation, is down to about 50% health. And now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to do the whole thing again, right? Boom, 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 build it up, build it up. Now we're at the 7, right? You know how it goes. We're still at 95% health, running the Suicide Masteries, right? And then, boom, same thing again. Now, of course, if you get better crit RNG than I did, that's you're gonna be he could definitely get through this fight in 2 special 2s, no doubt about it. If he was awakened, he gets even more damage, but I definitely do not think that he needs to be awakened. At this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish him off with 1 more special 2 with 7 cruelties and not worry about the Fury passive, because he only has 10% health left. Another thing is that when they evade you and when you miss, you're gonna gain a passive cruelty. Also, if they're immune to bleed, I believe it's a 2.5 second cooldown, but that makes him very usable for like robots, like Ultron, for example. Is there an Ultron fight or 2 in this video? So yeah, he just builds cruelty naturally against bleed immune champs. He used to build it even faster, like with no cooldown before the buff. I don't know why they added that cooldown. That's definitely not a good thing in my opinion. I feel like that should have been left alone. But regardless, it's all good. So yeah, he really nuked Red Hulk here, like very efficiently and very easily, man. That's one thing about him, is that he's always had like really nice damage output overall. Now we're going to look at his defensive ability accuracy reduction. This is going to be against Mesmerize here. So Ultron has a chance to evade, all right? And like I said, if you can keep up your 3-hit combos and you can keep your Disorient up, well, so look, perfect example. Actually, it like worked out so perfectly. Like before I'm in my stance and before I have my Disorient, yeah, he evaded. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to stay in the stance the entire fight, okay? And how we're going to do that is we're only going to do 3-hit combos. 1, 2, 3, dash back. 1, 2, 3, dash back. And that's what we're going to be doing continually. Or just one medium, right? Because we couldn't do light attacks because he was going to evade. But essentially, that's what we want to do. And it's okay against Ultron, because even if we don't switch stances, we're going to build our cruelty, right? So there he evaded because of his natural evasion. We can't, his functions aren't affected by ability accuracy reduction. So our minus 100% ability accuracy reduction, he doesn't really care about that because it can't be affected by it. His function evade, okay? So at this point, Ultron's down below 50% health, and he has not evaded us once since we really started this rotation. And whenever that Disorient is up, we're down by minus 100%. Just 40% when we're in our stance, so I wouldn't rely on the 40%, but if you can consistently chain the special ones here in any fight where you need defensive ability accuracy reduction, Ronin's going to be decent for it. Now, for me, this is kind of just like a little bonus, because I wouldn't like rely on Ronin for defensive ability accuracy reduction when Crossbones exists, when Falcon exists, Archangel or other champions with decent ability accuracy reduction. That's a little bit more reliable. But as you can see, this playstyle is definitely very possible if he's one of your only champions that has defensive ability accuracy reduction. And obviously all of his damage comes in bleeds, mostly. Well, he has some big yellow numbers too, but he has lots of bleed damage. We're going to look at Do You Bleed in 7.3. And also, there are so many other nodes here, and usually I'm like, there are a lot of nodes, and like, just kind of ignore the BS and just look at the bleed damage. I think it's so much more impressive the way he handles this Do You Bleed fight with all of these nodes. Especially we can't intercept here because we're going to lose our paradox. So the only way we're taking any damage here is through bleed, okay? That's the only way we're doing damage, is through bleed damage. That's it. No big yellow numbers, no nothing, okay? And to my knowledge, I don't believe there's enhanced bleed here. No, it's just bleed damage, okay? 336,000 health. That's it. Only in bleeds, okay? So keep in mind, Quake is going to have increased combat power rate until we get 3 paradox charges. And we get paradox charges when the opponent throws a special attack or when we throw a special attack, okay? So just keep that in mind. So that's going to be a little bit annoying. There's some BS to deal with that first, right? But that's, that's all right. The combat power rate kind of makes it easier to make the specials, right? But the one annoying thing is that we can't intercept. And when you intercept with Ronin, that's like right here. It's like a natural, I intercept with him. But you're not supposed to on this lane because then you lose your paradox charges, and that's not good, right? But yeah, basically what I want to do here is we're going to go for our rotation. We're going to go for our special 3, special 2 rotation and just see what happens. We're going to get the Fury. We have cruelties don't really matter here, but the Fury is going to matter because it's going to increase our bleed damage. Now, also, we are in our demon stance here right out of this special attack. So we're going to have, an increased ability accuracy on our bleeds on every hit. All right. So let's see, man. See, we're critting here, but we're not putting bleeds on. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, I don't know. It doesn't matter, man. Maybe it's because of the node, because we're not doing actual damage. Who knows? But look at how the bleeds are ticking when they do go on. I feel like we're kind of getting gypped out here a little bit on our bleeds. I feel like we're missing some. But regardless, we're going to go for a special 2. And just like the other fights, man, special 3, special 2, and the fight is over. 95% health finished. That's not bad. Now, his sick ability is nice, and it definitely can add some more damage while also having a bit of a drawback. So let's check it out here. While at 7 cruelty passes, Ronin gains a passive evasion on the next incoming hit for 0.81 seconds. I believe it's up to 2 seconds at 6200. Removes 3 cruelty passes when Ronin invades an attack. Successful evades do not grant stance abilities. That's fair. When Ronin invades an attack, gain a Fury passive, increasing attack rating by 467 for 12 seconds. So that obviously is going to increase your damage. However, it will take away some of your cruelty, so keep that in mind. It's a bit of a drawback there. And also, what this does for me is it kind of creates a safety net, because you play him so aggressively very often, right? All the intercepts and everything. It kind of creates a nice safety net where if you do get clipped, well, you got some passive furies and you evade. Makes him feel very safe to me. But also, what it does is it creates a much more casual playstyle if you're doing shorter fights, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to purposefully trigger the evade. Watch, check it out, right? Here comes the special one, and I'm going to go in, boom, get 2 passive furies, and now I'm going to build up some cruelties again. All right, and watch, boom, boom. And special 2. And Winter Soldier's down to about 60% health, 50-ish, right? 55% health. After 1 special 2, 37 hits. Ronin's on his head right now, right? So what is that? It's about 220,000 health, not a little bit more, which is very, very, very good for short fights. So if you're doing like casual, like Cav Event Quest, or Monthly Quest, or Side Quest, or BS Quest, or even Alliance War, or Alliance Quest, the Sig ability is really nice because it gives you that fury to allow you to just nuke through the fight and end it with 1 special 2. So medium length to long length fights, I feel like going for the special 3 is the way to go, because that's where you get so much damage from. But in just like normal health fights, the Sig ability is really great for just going through, triggering the evade, getting the furies, building up a few more cruelties, possibly triggering the fury again if you want to, and then going for a special 2. That's just how I see the dupe there. I have one more thing I want to show you here, and that's for these types of nodes that are like, you know, shock 30 seconds, this debuff, that debuff at the start of the fight, right? That kind of stuff. Just watch what happens, right, with our stance here, right? Parry, light, dash back, gone, done. 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 You're just done. It's over. Ultron never stood a chance, right? And that's it. And again, this is, you know, Ultron's bleed immune, so we're going to be building up a cruelty really quickly so we can trigger our evades all the time. So we're not getting our bleed damage here against him, but as you can see, like, we have 4 passive furies because we're building up cruelties so fast. And yeah, we're missing out on a lot of damage from the bleeds. And also, it'd be even more damage if we went for the special 3 and got the big, you know, passive fury. And possibly, if we're really aggressive and there's, like, you know, some power gain synergies, we could probably get to 2 special 3s and chain them. I don't know if they stack, but the situation where that's even possible would be so rare anyway, that doesn't really matter. But regardless, man, like, he's obviously handling this fight really well, even though Ultron is bleed immune, and as we saw against Quake, so much of our damage comes from just the bleeds, alright? But as you can see, really, really solid stuff against this Ultron, but the important thing was the utility of just shrugging off the debuffs. So I definitely do think Ronin is a bit underrated. Like I said, I do not think he's a top skill champion. I don't even know if I can say if he's a top 10 skill champion. Just off the top of my head, there's, you know, like Nick Fury, Moman, Kingpin, Shang-Chi, who for me are like a solid lock for top 4, depending on the order of how you like them. Then there's like Crossbones and Falcon for the defensive ability and accuracy guys. There's Aegon for the long form content. That's up to 7 already. They have, like, you know, Black Widow Deadly Origins, really good. Jabari Panther is really underrated and really good as well. Hawkeye is now amazing. Speaking of, you know, Clint, OG Black Panther. Oh god, Thor Ragnarok. A lot of people like Elsa, Hitmonkey. I would say all these champions are better than Ronin, more useful than Ronin. I'd say I'd put Hitmonkey and Ronin on around the same level. The Sakurai is good. Karnak is good. Yeah, then there's Killmonger, who's great as well. Blade is apparently coming to the game. But yeah, the skill class is just like really good lately, man. Like this, for some reason, I don't know what they were doing over there at Kabam, but it's like they looked at the skill class and they were like, you know, the skill class is bad. What if we just make like every single skill champion really good? Hey, also, let's make Agent Venom really good with Kraven too. Let's just put a massive synergy in it. Like one of the best synergies of the year. Give it to Agent Venom. So I don't know. The skill class is like really good nowadays, man. So I don't think I mentioned Black Widow Deadly Origin, by the way, but she's also really good. So when I look at, also Stealthy is really, really good. So when I look at like all of these skill champs, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, Ronin's a top skill champ, because I don't know, there's just a lot of really good skill champs nowadays. But Ronin's one of them, man. He's one of them, and he kind of feels like a jack of all trades in a kind of way type of thing, right? Where he's something that he really does like better than everybody, but he has really, really, really good damage when you build him up properly. He's fun to play if you enjoy his playstyle, and he has some decent synergy, and he's pretty sustainable if you don't get hit. So yeah, man, and some really solid bleed damage too, of course. But anyway, you know, like I said, I don't like to rank champions in order. It's like every champion is good in their own ways in certain different scenarios and everything. So I don't know, man. But the point of this video is Ronin underrated? I think he is underrated. I think that from the beginning he was written off as a bad buff, and I don't think that he was a bad buff. I think he was a small buff, but I don't think he needed one in the first place. So he got a little tiny buff and he got a little bit better, but I think he was always decent. And he's good. He's a good champ. So if you have him, give him another look. You might like him. But anyway, my dudes, that is it for this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop your boy a big ol' like. Comment what you think about buffed Ronin in the comment section below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future Are They Underrated videos coming to you in the future. Seeing you around.